What's up, everybody? This is that dude Froze. Um, this is just me, not a rant, really, just me saying how I feel and just seeing if anybody watching agrees with me. But gaming as of late has been kind of stale. I said I was gonna put some Division gameplay up, but the game multiplayer in the game, the PvP, just hasn't been what I thought it was going to be. The dead zone is kind of, I don't want to say bad, but it's just not what I thought. You have a bunch of people that stalk it just to kill you while you're trying to extract stuff, just to take your stuff. And who wants to play a game like that? And you know, there are some games that I'm looking forward to that are coming out, like Uncharted 4 and Battleborn and Mafia 3, but I just haven't been as stoked with gaming in this generation, or in lasts for that matter, like I was on the old Nintendo days, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, and PS2 and the GameCube days, and the Xbox 360. It just wasn't, not even so much the 360. I liked it, but I'm a PlayStation and Nintendo guy, so. But you know, I can remember back when I was younger, when I would rush home from school to jump on my Nintendo, my Super Nintendo, and in my earlier days of college, rushing to jump on my N64 and PlayStation and PS2 and my GameCube. Used to take my systems to work and play while I was at work. But nowadays, games just aren't that compelling anymore. They're focusing so much on graphics and things like that that they're kind of taking away the fun factor of it all. I said I wasn't going to play Destiny as much as I used to, but it's really the only game that's holding my attention. I have other games that I need to play, and I'm going to get to them because I really want to finish Division and I want to get into Mad Max and Fallout 4. But it's just not that, like, I can remember taking off days of school to play Final Fantasy VII. Granted, it wasn't my favorite in the series. That honor still goes to Part 6, and I can remember taking days off of school to play Final Fantasy VI when I first started college. And now, I don't know, it's more of, hey, this game looks good, and that's all people care about, or all developers are caring about, to make the best looking game possible. That the fun factor isn't there anymore to me, and it sucks. I'm always going to be a gamer. I'm always going to game, but I kind of miss the old 8 and 16-bit and 32-bit days. Back when games had stories, and that's gone from games to me now. It's just gone. People are, and I'm not saying people, but you have gamers that are so into realism and attention to detail, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like realism and attention to detail too, but that can't be everything to the game. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. Like, people hate Destiny because they said it wasn't fun, but Destiny paid a lot of attention to detail, and as much as I like Destiny, the story is trash. The story of Destiny sucks. I'll never put up any gameplay of me playing the story because it really isn't one. And I don't know. Destiny had a lot of promise. When I first saw Destiny on BG's channel and I looked into it, I was stoked about this game simply because of the story. I didn't even want to play the multiplayer. And as a matter of fact, Destiny really was the first game I jumped online and played ever. I never used to game online because multiplayer didn't interest me. But, that's all games really have now is multiplayer. If there's not really a good multiplayer in it, the game is kind of lacking. The only game I can think of that had a multiplayer that I tried and just hated was Grand Theft Auto 5. Because I had it on the PS3 and it took them so long to even bring the multiplayer for that out, I lost interest in it, and it just wasn't something that I had to play. And, I wish I need to go and get my PS3 fixed just so I can play my Mega Man Anniversary Collection again, and my Mega Man X Anniversary Collection again, and Final Fantasy Chronicles, so I can play Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 6 again, and I can play Rogue Galaxy, and that's what I miss, stories and attention to the fun factor of the game. The last real next gen game that I can remember sitting and having a ton of fun in, last two, were Arkham City and Red Dead Redemption. I won't say the last because I did enjoy the Infamous series, and I still do enjoy the Infamous series. That's one of my favorite games, series, and franchises, period, because I like the superpowers and stuff, and the game's story was pretty good. But those are anomalies, it seems now, that you just don't see that anymore, and I want that back. I miss that. I miss the anticipation of going home and playing a game. I'm almost 40, so I guess I'm getting a bit old and set in my ways, and just, I don't know, but I miss the way gaming used to be. I miss how it was more about the story and not the graphics and things like that. And I love graphics, but I can tell you a game that was super fun and had the worst graphics in the world, that being Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The old PlayStation 2 Grand Theft Auto games were all ugly as sin, but the gameplay was so fun, especially in San Andreas. I mean, it was like having a role-playing GTA game. You had to build stuff up. Your lung capacity, your bike riding skills, your motorcycle skills, your driving skills, your boating skills, your flying skills, your gun skills. It was just fun. And I can remember sitting for hours just building my character up and having a ball doing it. And that's gone now. My favorite, and I loved GTA 5, but it does not hold a candle to GTA San Andreas. It just didn't. Fun game. One of the best games, in my opinion, on the PS3, along with the Infamous series and the Red Dead Redemption. But it's and God of War, of course, but that's more PS2 than anything. But it's I don't know, and remasters is killing gaming too. It's how many times are you going to release remasters? It's most of the games on the systems now are remasters of old games. That's why, if you notice, I keep referring to Grand Theft Auto 5 as the PS3 version, because that's where it came out on first. I have the PS4 version, and it's the same game with better graphics. And come on, let's get some new stuff out that people want to play, like The Last of Us. That was an old PS3 game that they remastered on the PS4. Great game, one of the best PS3 games, one of the best games I've played in a long time. As far as the story went, I was totally engaged and immersed in it. But I have it on the PS4 and I really don't want to play it. I need to go through and play the Left Behind game because I didn't get a chance to play that on the PS3 because I wasn't going to pay for it. You know, they're actually raping you with DLC too, and I'll get into that in a second. And I want some new games. I want some new fun games. That's why I'm hoping Battleborn holds up to Borderlands, the story, and the story version of Borderlands. And I hope Mafia 3 is a great original series. You know, that'll be my first Mafia game. Because, I don't know, I just was never into the series. I heard Mafia 2 was pretty good, but it was real glitchy on PS3, so I didn't check it out. You know, and then we have another thing I feel is kind of ruining gaming is DLC. They're making you pay for everything, you know, and calling it a season pass. Like, Destiny has bent me over, you know, because I paid for every update that they charge for. You know, if they made you pay for it, I bought it. I didn't buy any of the emotes and stuff, and I won't buy anything in the Everest Tessa's section. You know, I'm not paying for that stuff. That's stupid. But like, if it's game content, like extra boards and things, I'll buy that. And Destiny is pretty much raped me because I bought Destiny brand new. I bought the season pass, and everything else that they've charged for, I bought the Taken King. And, you know, that stuff should have been free to me. You know, at least the House of Wolves expansion should have been free. And in my humble opinion, any expansion after now should be free because, you know, Destiny's a pretty old game and, you know, the stuff should be free. And sports games, they're making you pay for uniforms and old teams when back in the olden days, as I'll put it, all of that stuff was unlockable through playing. You unlocked other things and you unlocked other teams and in fighting games. You unlocked characters and weapons by playing. You didn't buy it, you know. And that's what's, in my humble opinion, all of that's ruining gaming to me. It's like taking away from the experience when I have to spend so much money to have a game, have the complete game, because flat out Destiny was released unfinished and you had to pay for the finished product. And there are several games like that. Street Fighter V is the perfect example of that. That's why I'll never own that game until the super advanced Mega Street Fighter edition comes out that has everything in it. But I miss the days when you could pop a game in and just play. You didn't have to buy anything. You didn't have to update anything. You didn't have to worry about if this game is going to be fun or this game doesn't look as good as another version of it. You know, I just miss those days. And I'll be happy if those days ever return or if gaming heads in that direction again. But, you know, that's just me, how I feel. If you're watching this and you feel like leaving a comment on if you agree or disagree, you know, do that. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe. And this is that dude Froze signing out.